Earl Christian Campbell was born on March 29, 1955, in Tyler, Texas, to Ann and Bert, B.C. Campbell. He was the sixth of 11 children. Following the death of his father when he was 11 years old, Campbell took on greater responsibilities at home. Later in his career, he earned the nickname, the Tyler Rose, as a tribute to his hometown. Campbell first played football in 5th grade as a kicker but transitioned to linebacker in 6th grade after watching and idolizing Dick Butkus. His aggressive playing style was heavily influenced by Butkus. Although his mother, Ann, initially discouraged him from playing football in high school, his passion for the game prevailed. In 1973, Campbell led John Tyler High School, coached by Corky Nelson, to a Texas 4A state championship, then the highest classification in the state. His outstanding performance that season earned him the title of Mr. Football USA, recognizing him as the top high school player in the country. As one of the most sought-after recruits, Campbell had multiple college offers, ultimately narrowing his choices to Houston, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and Baylor. After home visits from Barry Switzer of Oklahoma and Darrell Royal of Texas, he committed to the University of Texas. Switzer later stated in his 1989 book that Campbell was the only player he had ever seen who could have gone directly from high school to the NFL and immediately become a star. Campbell played for the Texas Longhorns from 1974 to 1977, making an immediate impact as a freshman. In his first season, he appeared in all 11 games, rushing for 928 yards and 6 touchdowns on 162 carries. In 1975, Campbell established himself as one of the top running backs in the country. He led the Southwest Conference in rushing yards, 1,118, rushing touchdowns, 13, and total points scored, 78. His dominance earned him first-team All-America honors at fullback from the American Football Coaches Association. However, his junior season in 1976 was marred by leg injuries, forcing him to miss 4 games. Despite the setbacks, he still managed 653 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in 7 appearances. Texas finished the season with a disappointing 5-5-1 record. In 1980, Campbell married his high school sweetheart, Reuna Smith. They have 2 sons, Christian and Tyler. Christian played football at Westlake High School alongside Drew Brees and later ran track for the University of Houston. Tyler played running back at Pasadena City College and San Diego State but was forced to retire from football after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. He later returned to Texas, balancing work in the family business while advocating for MS awareness with his father. In 1990, Campbell founded Earl Campbell Meat Products Incorporated, known for its smoked sausages and barbecue sauces. He also opened Earl Campbell's Lone Star Barbecue in Austin in 1999, though it closed in 2001. As of 2016, Campbell remained actively involved with the University of Texas, serving as a special assistant to the football team, continuing his deep connection to the Longhorns program. Campbell bounced back in his senior year, leading the nation in rushing with 1,744 yards and 19 touchdowns. In the third game of the season, he scored 4 touchdowns in a commanding 72-15 win over Rice, a game in which Texas kicker Russell Erxleben set an NCAA record with a 67-yard field goal. In his final regular season game against Texas A&M, Campbell rushed for a career-high 222 yards, helping Texas to a 57-28 victory and securing the Southwest Conference championship. The Longhorns finished the regular season undefeated and were ranked number 1 heading into the Cotton Bowl Classic. In the Cotton Bowl, Texas faced number 5 Notre Dame, led by quarterback Joe Montana. Campbell rushed 29 times for 116 yards, but the Longhorns fell 38-10, allowing Notre Dame to claim the national championship. Texas finished the season ranked 4th in the final AP poll. Following his stellar senior campaign, Campbell won the Heisman Trophy, becoming the first University of Texas player to receive the prestigious award. He also won the inaugural Davy O'Brien Memorial Trophy, given to the top player in the Southwest Conference. Additionally, the Sporting News and United Press International named him the College Football Player of the Year, and he was a unanimous All-American selection. Over his 4-year collegiate career, Campbell played in 40 games, amassing 4,443 rushing yards and 40 touchdowns, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest running backs in Texas Longhorns history. Earl Campbell was selected as the first overall pick in the 1978 NFL Draft by the Houston Oilers, signing a 6-year, $1.4 million contract. The Oilers acquired the pick from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by trading tight end Jimmy Giles, along with multiple draft selections. Head coach Bum Phillips expressed his excitement, stating, "It takes a great running back to have a winning football team, and this kid is a great running back." Campbell made an immediate impact, leading the league with a rookie record 1,450 rushing yards. He was named Offensive Rookie of the Year by the Sporting News and Associated Press, AP, AFC Offensive Player of the Year by United Press International, UPI, and NFL Offensive Player of the Year by the AP. He also won NFL MVP honors from the Newspaper Enterprise Association, NEA, and the Pro Football Writers of America, PFWA. His electrifying play helped spark Houston's Love Ya Blue era. In 1979, with quarterback Dan Pastorini sidelined by a shoulder injury, Campbell carried the Oilers through a 5-game winning streak. He capped it off with a dominant 195-yard, 2-touchdown performance in a Thanksgiving Day victory over the Dallas Cowboys. He led the league again with 1,697 rushing yards and 19 touchdowns, setting records for most 100-yard games, 11, consecutive 100-yard games, 7, and carries, 368. Campbell was named NFL MVP by the AP, NEA, and PFWA for the second straight season, also earning his second consecutive AP Offensive Player of the Year award and the Burt Bell Award as the league's most outstanding player. Despite his success, concerns arose about the toll of his bruising running style. Former players and analysts questioned how long he could maintain his aggressive approach. Pittsburgh Steelers running back Franco Harris warned, "Knocking over people can look very good, but you can't do it forever." However, Bum Phillips stood by Campbell's style, stating, "I'm not going to change his style. You don't want a guy who flops on the ground." The Oilers finished the 1979 season 11-5 and won their first home playoff game since 1960, defeating the Denver Broncos in the wild card round. They then beat the San Diego Chargers despite injuries to both Campbell and Pastorini. However, in the AFC Championship game, the Oilers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, with Campbell limited to just 15 yards on 17 carries against the Steel Curtain defense. In 1980, Campbell had his most productive season, rushing for 1,934 yards in 15 games, averaging 128.9 yards per game, falling just 70 yards short of breaking O.J. Simpson's single-season record. He led the league in rushing and touchdowns once again, recording 4 200-yard games, a single-season record that stood as of 2016. He even threw a 57-yard touchdown pass to Billy "White Shoes" Johnson. The Oilers finished 11-5 but lost in the wild card round to the Oakland Raiders. Campbell won his third straight Jim Thorpe Trophy as the league's MVP and was again named AP Offensive Player of the Year. Following that season, head coach Bum Phillips was fired and replaced by Ed Biles. In 1981, Houston finished 7-9 and missed the playoffs for the first time in Campbell's career. He rushed for 1,376 yards and 10 touchdowns but failed to lead the league in rushing for the first time. His season highlight included back-to-back games of over 180 rushing yards, including a franchise record 39 carries against Seattle. The 1982 season was shortened by a players' strike, limiting teams to 9 games. The Oilers finished a disappointing 1-8, and Campbell's production dropped to 538 rushing yards and just 2 touchdowns, averaging only 59.8 yards per game, well below his previous 4-season average of 104.1. In 1983, Earl Campbell experienced a resurgence, rushing for 1,301 yards and 12 touchdowns, earning his 5th Pro Bowl selection. However, the Houston Oilers struggled, finishing tied for the worst record in the league at 2-14. Frustrated with the team's poor performance and feeling undervalued, Campbell voiced his desire for a trade after being benched in the second half of a Week 10 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. "I'm tired of hearing every week how I'm too dumb, washed up, too dumb to read holes, can't block, can't catch the football," he said. Despite completing the season with Houston, he remained adamant about leaving during the offseason. Under new head coach Hugh Campbell, the Oilers continued their struggles in 1984, starting the season 0-6. During that stretch, Campbell managed just 278 rushing yards before being traded to the New Orleans Saints, reuniting with former Oilers coach Bum Phillips. In exchange, Houston received the Saints' first-round pick in the 1985 NFL Draft, which they used to select cornerback Richard Johnson. The trade surprised many in New Orleans, as the Saints already had George Rogers, the 1981 number 1 overall draft pick, Rookie of the Year, and rushing champion. With Campbell and Rogers, the team featured 2 Heisman Trophy winners in the backfield. However, Campbell played a limited role, carrying the ball only 5 times for 19 yards in his debut. His production remained modest throughout the season, finishing with 468 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, without a single 100-yard game. In 1985, Campbell recorded his final 100-yard performance, rushing for 160 yards and scoring his only touchdown of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. He ended the year with 643 rushing yards on 158 carries. Campbell considered playing one more season to reach 10,000 career rushing yards but ultimately retired before the 1986 season. Years of physical punishment had taken a toll on his body. "I'm a man, I'm not a little boy," he stated. "I believe this is the best thing, not only for myself, but for the Saints." He concluded his career with 2,187 carries for 9,407 rushing yards and 74 touchdowns, along with 121 receptions for 806 yards. And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in, I appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay safe, stay inspired, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.